All right, welcome to Biology 201 hybrid course. I wanted to show you how Blackboard is set up real quick, so just in case you maybe haven't used Blackboard before, or this is a hybrid, so it's going to be a little different than even if you have used it before. I wanted to just take a second to show you where everything is located. So the main thing we're going to look at is over to the left right here. All these different tabs are where you're going to find things. First off, though, whenever you log into the page, this is our home page. This will be the first one that you go to. Don't skip over this page. There's some important information here. There are announcements. So what I will do is at least once a week, I'm going to post a checklist announcement. And that's just going to have all the material that you need to work on that week. And I'll remind you of any due dates or anything like that. I'm also going to make a quick video to kind of just give you some tips about what you need to do each week. So I know that those take a little bit of time. This first week is maybe a little longer, but watch those because it's always good. That way you won't be surprised of anything that's coming up because I will definitely tell you about it. So just read through that checklist announcement. I've also got a few more announcements that'll be up here by the time this class starts. So just make sure that you watch those. Right underneath that, there's a My Tasks section, and I'll just have a reminder of any due dates or any assignments that are coming up. So check those. If you check the announcements, check the My Tasks section, check your syllabus. You should not be surprised by anything that's going to be due in this class. All right, I just clicked on the Start Here. So this is the video you're watching right now. Just a little information about the course that you can go through and read. I sent most of you, if you signed up for this class earlier, I sent you an email before the semester started, and there was a Getting Started letter. You can find a copy of that right there. Here is the textbook and instructional materials too. So real quick, for the materials that you're going to need for this class, we're not going to have an actual physical textbook or lab book. What we're doing instead is we're going to use Connect. And I'll show you in a second how you can purchase that. If you're going to the bookstore, just tell them that you're taking Biology 201. We are section 6. And they'll know which Connect that you need. If you are ordering it online, I'll show you how to do that in just a second. All right. You're going to need a laptop too, because all of our lectures, all of that material is going to be online, and you're going to watch video lectures. So you need to have access to that. The plan right now, unless anything changes with COVID, is that we're going to meet in person for all of our labs and all of our exams. If we do have to switch to online, then you will need a computer that has a webcam or a microphone. So like I said, hopefully, I'm hoping we can meet in person, but just in case, be aware of that too. And then you can read through the prerequisite knowledge and everything. All right, because this is hybrid, we are going to meet on campus for labs, like I just said. So we have to have a COVID waiver form. You can read these instructions right here, but just before the first day of class, before we start meeting the first lab classes, you need to print this COVID waiver form off, sign it, and bring it with you. And I'll have a couple extra copies in person too if you forget it. But that's something the college is pretty strict on this semester. You have to have one of those signed and turn it in before you can start attending classes. We're actually supposed to ask you to leave if you don't have that. So just remember to do that. All right, so let's run through the rest of these real quick. Homepage, you can always get back to the homepage by clicking that tab. Instructor info, here is where you can find me. If it's during any of these office hours, the office hours that are in black, so until noon every day, I will be in my office, and you can call that number and get in touch with me. I believe what they're doing, I'm still not exactly sure, but what they did last semester was we had a good bit of time that we could work from home or we could work off campus just so that we can, even the instructors can distance from each other. So if it's during these red hours, you can try calling my office first, but if I'm not there, then I've set up a Google Voice number, and you can call this number right here. During any of those red hours, I should be able to get in touch with you then as well. All right. The syllabus, I sent you in that email before the beginning of the semester, I sent everyone a copy of the syllabus, but you can find that right there. So real quick, the first assignment that we're going to talk about that you can go ahead and get started on is a syllabus quiz. And all this is a quick 5-question quiz that if you have read the syllabus, they're going to be really obvious answers that you can find in your syllabus. So what's the date of your first lecture exam? If you pull up your syllabus, you'll find that really easily. These are simple questions. Feel free to use your syllabus during this quiz. Print it off if you want to. That's perfectly fine. I just want to make sure that you can read the syllabus and you know where to find that information. So that assignment, I'll show you in a second all the due dates actually right below. The syllabus quiz that we just talked about is going to be due January 24th. This is a great list right here because it has every assignment that you're going to have this entire semester. I've got it listed on this table where you know what the due date is, you know how many points that assignment is worth. Please take advantage of this. Make sure that you have this printed off. I've even got a downloadable list right here so you can download that and print it off. And just use this as your checklist to make sure that you're not missing any assignments. Okay, here's the big one right here is learning materials. So like I mentioned, because this is a hybrid class, we are not going to meet in person and lecture. So what I have done is I have recorded lecture videos for all of the information you're going to need to know for this class. I've got it separated into 4 different units because we're going to have 4 lecture tests in this class. Unit 1 is everything that's going to be on the first test. Unit 2, everything on the second test, and so on. So the first lecture that we need to do actually this first week is Chapter 1. And it's an introduction chapter, but it's really important. So click on the Unit 1 folder, click on the Chapter 1 folder, and there's a few things for you right here. First off, there is a PowerPoint. So you can download this. Let me show you my best advice I can give you on how to do well in this class is if you will download the PowerPoint and print it off before you start watching the lecture videos. What I would do is you can print, change that to handout. I like the one that says 3 slides per page. And you might not be able to see that too well, but right here is what that's going to look like. It's going to be the slides. That's small, but you should still be able to read them. And then you've got plenty of room for notes out to the side. So print that, have it with you, and then after the PowerPoint, I have lecture videos recorded for you. All right. Now, don't panic because it says that there's 4 of them for Chapter 1. What I did was I took a really long, like 3-hour lecture, and I split it into smaller parts. I think it's easier to make sure that you watch them all that way. That way, if you don't have a whole 2 hours to sit down and listen to a lecture, you can watch part 1 and then like watch part 2 when you get off work and split it up that way. But if you'll have that PowerPoint handout with you, then when you're watching the lecture videos, any notes that I say, like this is an important definition, you need to know this, you can highlight it because you've already got the PowerPoint printed off. There will be times where I type out extra notes that you need to know, and you can write those in the notes section of the handout. So all of those are located in the learning materials. I've also got a study guide for each of the exams too, so take advantage of that. Okay, quizzes. We don't have many quizzes, but there will be a few odds and ends like assignments that you'll find in the quizzes section right here. So just be looking for on any announcements if I say that there's something due, like a pretest, for example, is one of the first assignments you need to do. I'll say that's located in the quizzes tab, so that's where you'll be able to find that. All right, real quick, the pretest. This is something we need you to do at the very beginning of the semester too. It's just to see what you know about Biology 201 before the semester starts. It's kind of long, it's 60 questions. But here's the good news is that this test is not worth any points. The reason that's good news, you're not supposed to know this yet. All right, this is perfectly okay if you take this pretest and you don't know any of this information. It's just honestly like paperwork stuff we have to do to see what you knew about anatomy before the semester started. So if you will, as soon as you get a chance, this one is actually due Friday, January 15th, if you will take the pretest, and like I'm not even going to look at your individual grade. All I'm going to do when everyone is done, I have to run a report that shows this percentage of the students knew question 1, this percentage of the students knew question 2. So just go ahead, like I said, zero pressure. If you don't know an answer, feel free to skip it. Like that's perfectly okay. But if you think you know what the answer is, you can select your answer and just see. All right, there is an About Me survey. So one of the downsides with a hybrid class is I only get to meet you half of the time that we would in a regular class where we meet twice a week. And I'm not actually going to see face-to-face. We won't meet together until the 3rd week. So just to get to learn a little bit about you right off the bat, there's an About Me survey. It's going to be 5 easy questions, things like what is your major, or what program do you want to go into, just kind of things like that. And it's worth 5 points, so that'll help you out too. Okay, lab content. when we start meeting, and actually even the second week of class, some of our labs, most of our labs, almost all of them, we will meet in person and we will do together. But just because we're kind of running out of time with this being a hybrid class, we're limited on how many times we can meet in person. So there might be one lab like this first one where instead of meeting, you're going to do it from home. And I've recorded a lab video for you. Okay, so you'll find those right there. Now that's just a few times where we're going to have to do something like that. The main thing though is when we start learning bones and bone muscles and things like that in person, we will actually meet together in the lab and go over those. But I've also made some images for you where you can study on your own at home. So all the bones we're going to learn about in class, I've made a PowerPoint that has all of those images that you need to know too. So just lab material will be located right there. All right, and then really quickly, I've got a video on how to use Connect, so I'm not going to go through all of that with you right now, but Connect is going to be kind of like our lab book. What we used to do a couple semesters ago is students had to purchase an actual like physical lab book, and you would write in the book and rip your pages out and turn it in. So instead of doing that, we're using something called Connect. Connect is just going to be a way for you to do your labs at home on your computer. I'll show you what this looks like. So everything we're going to talk about in the first lab, you'll see those assignments in the Connect section. Okay, so for information on how to sign up for Connect, you can purchase it from the bookstore. Like if you're using financial aid, that might be the route that you have to go through. But you can sign up for Connect. And if you watch this using Connect video or video instructions, that will show you how to do that. Learn Smart, I've got another quick video for that, but Learn Smart is a way for you to quiz yourself after we have gone through the lecture material. So it's a good way to learn the material because you're answering questions on what we just covered. You can also earn a few bonus points by doing these Learn Smart assignments. I've got a video there that'll show you how to use Learn Smart, so feel free to do that. All right, almost done. The diversity project. This is something we do in all of our courses, but it's I used to make it like a real actual 4-credit assignment. What I've done this semester is I've changed it to a bonus assignment, and that actually is more important because bonus points help your grade a little bit more than just like a regular assignment points do. So what you'll do for this diversity project, if you will click on the directions, I won't do that right now, but it's going to download a document that has a couple links of biographies that you need to read. Once you've read those biographies, and you can keep them up while you're taking this quiz, that's fine. You can print them off if you want to. Once you've read those biographies, you will take the biology diversity quiz, and that is worth 5 bonus points if you get all of those answers correct. Okay, my grades, there's nothing in here right now, obviously, because the semester just started, but any assignments you have, I will have them posted right here in the My Grade section as soon as you do them and as soon as I get a chance to grade them. So you should always know like what your average is in this course because you can just find that in the My Grade section. All right, last thing I can think of, 2 more things real quick. The messages, I'm sure you know how to do this, but if you needed to get in touch with me, you can send me a Blackboard message. Just go to Create Message Recipients, and then I'm going to have Instructor next to my name. So you can find me, you can find anyone else in the class. Click this arrow to make me a recipient, and then send me a message. This is just like email, but it's set up just for our course. All right, finally, last big thing is this class discussion section. So like I said, this is a hybrid course, and for social distancing purposes, only half of us are going to meet in person at any given time. So what I want you to do, I'm going to let you pick which day you want to show up for class. I know that some of you may drive to campus together, and I wanted to make sure that you got a chance to attend on the same day. So I've got this discussion board set up, or this class discussion set up, where it says select your lab group. What you will do is pick Group A is going to meet on Monday. Group B is going to meet on Wednesday. There are 24 students in this class, so that means that 12 can be in a group. We only have room for 12 people to stay spaced out like we need to be. So if you want to attend on Monday, click this discussion board, Group A. You will just reply right here and say something like, I would like to attend on Mondays. If you wanted to attend on Wednesdays, then you would just click in the Group B thread and say, I would like to attend on Wednesdays. So that's, like I said, totally your choice. Just check before you submit, because only 12 students can be in a group. So if one group is already full, then you're just going to have to choose the other day. But that's it. If you have any questions or if you need help finding anything, let me know and I'll be glad to help.